you have to pay him so much money that teams have kept 2 picks, but no team has ever kept all 3 first-round picks because there's so much money you have to pay him.
Well, it doesn't matter because these 2 are going to get cut pretty quickly the way Howie drafts them.
Yeah. Yes, they will be. Yes, they won't make the 53-man.
No. I'm sure Alex Singleton has a brother.
Yeah. Maybe Jonathan Dwyer. You asked me if Jonathan Dwyer had a brother. Maybe he's got one.
I don't know. I didn't look him up. I just saw the part where he went to jail.
No. You texted me. You asked me if he had a brother.
I know. I think I didn't look that up. I just looked up the part about him going to jail. I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see. He does. He has a sibling, Jordan Dwyer, who's apparently nothing. He's just a normal person.
Oh, just like a math teacher.
Yeah, he's just a normal guy.
I researched today that the Army head coach is related to the Georgia head coach. They're cousins.
That's interesting.
Well, hopefully it's more success.
Beat Navy.
Yo, did you send Dylan the invite? Oh, there he is.
Well, there he is.
There he is. There's David. He wasn't going to let us down, man.
Oh,
He's the man.
Good square, man. Wow, look at this bunch.
At One Pick Wonders with the 5-man team.
Bunch, man. Brady bunch.
Shit, wait. Dan's cut off now.
No, I'm on the screen. I see all of you.
5 head is cut
I was
off.
talking about the
That's
recording.
right.
His forehead is too big.
Your
I
forehead
see
is
everybody. I don't know.
too
Maybe you just have a shitty computer there.
Man, Ryan, did you grow more hair or did you cut more hair off? What did you do, Ryan?
I'm trying to.
It's been a couple of years.
That's actually cool. Dan is
I just keep it very short.
Dan is cut off. That's actually pretty cool. Oh wait.
That's okay. We don't need Dan.
No, he's
But
not
I see
cut off
myself
now.
on the screen.
I see Dan.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why Scott can't.
We're
You'll see him.
We're just cutting off the 5th portion of his head.
Well, that name hasn't helped Brian too much in fantasy.
So
the 5 head? No, my team sucks, man. Fuck my team, dude. Fuck Miles Sanders and fuck Hilaire, CEH. They fucked me. My 3rd or 4th round picks suck.
That sounds like a rough threesome.
Yeah.
So this is at One Pick Wonders on Twitter. We have our special
I
guest
think I'm
today.
playing.
We have our special
Yeah,
guest
Scott,
today,
this week.
Dalen Bryant. He's going to be commenting on the picks. We're giving you 2 picks, and now
It's Dylan. Scott. It's Dylan.
that's what
Yo,
I
it's
said.
Dylan,
dumbass.
Scott.
That's what I said.
No,
dumbass.
you said Dalen.
That's better than I thought.
Scott, you said Dalen.
I thought you were going to name me the token. My bad. It's been a long token. That token's been rolling a long time.
You're telling me that a substitute teacher never called you Dalen, right?
Oh man,
Roll call, please. Dalen Bryant.
a challenge. There'll either be a bear or a cat going through in a minute, so it'll be okay.
Is there Dalen Bryant?
That's actually French. It means of the land. De land. The land. Of the land.
Figures.
The Overland.
I've gotten that before. Yeah, I've gotten that before. Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm named Scott, and I'm not
All right,
Scottish,
so
okay? So I feel your pain. So this is at One Pick Wonders. You get.
All right, so what's this show on? What y'all do?
All right, hey, we're rolling, David. Did I say it right?
Okay.
David.
David. Go on,
We're
David.
rolling.
No, but it's close.
The tape is rolling.
You'll spend the whole show trying to get this right.
I know. Hey, I can get Bryant's right.
He couldn't get Kyle Bowler right.
Hey,
Oh wow.
you know what, Dalen? We like to talk about the quarterback for the Seahawks, Russell Dickinson. You know, we
Russell
like to
Williams.
bring that into the show.
my brother fucks up names all the time on the show. It's funny.
I see. I
All right,
see.
so
And
we're cutting to the chase. We're giving you 2 picks. My team, which is myself, the producer, and my brother, the sports betting guru, BKO. Did you wear your hat? I can't even see.
Yeah, I got it.
And against the 5-head of knowledge, who 1/5 of his head is now cut off due to the video capture. And Ryan, the Office Robinson. We have a special guest, Dalen Bryant, who's going to critique, hopefully, they're the Sofa Kings, Dalen. So hopefully he's going to critique their pick over our pick. So who's going first? The Sofa Kings or the Team O?
The winner.
Did you guys win last week?
Yeah, no, we haven't won.
They got popped again.
Then I guess we should go first. So there's actually a winning pick
wow.
going.
Dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Dan, you
3-9.
can start. Yeah. What's that?
They're 3-9. Team O.
What are we?
Yes, we suck.
What were we, like 8-4 or something?
Is that what we are? Okay. I can't
No,
remember.
you're 7-5. Come on, man, 7-5.
Oh,
Fuck
okay.
you.
No, I wasn't sure. 8-5.
Whatever.
3 games behind you guys.
Okay.
No, 4 games.
We took Baltimore -4 on the road at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh just stinks. I don't know. They have no mojo at all. It seems like everything's out of sorts with that team. Roethlisberger doesn't play well. Guys are in and out of the lineup. Their defense has one good week and one terrible week. They've been pretty bad the last 2 weeks. What, they give it up like 88 points, I think, the last 2 weeks.
82.
All right, fine.
Generally speaking, these teams have kind of gone 50-50 in this series. I believe Pittsburgh leads the all-time series 30-24, and Pittsburgh swept last year. But the Ravens had all kinds of problems last year. They had COVID issues, and guys were in and out of the lineup all the time. Now, what's his name? Lamar Jackson was awful last week in that game against, who was it, Cleveland? But I think he should play better this week. He got a full week of practice. He's not sick anymore. He should be okay. He only played once, I think, in Pittsburgh, and he led them to an overtime victory the last time he played. So, yeah, no, this is his third start in Pittsburgh. But I have no confidence in Pittsburgh. The Ravens' defense has been better. I think they're 9th in scoring. They're middle of the pack of some other stuff. Brian likes them because they blitz all the time.
Sorry, baby.
And Pittsburgh's defense has just been all over the place. Now, they are going to get T.J. Watt back and Cam Hayward back. But even when they played last time, they still weren't very good. They have nobody else. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick makes a play here or there, but everyone else kind of just screws around. I think the weather's supposed to be good. Baltimore can still run the football. Jackson will make some plays. Mark Andrews has been great as their tight end this year, and he does catch touchdown passes despite the objections of Brian O'Hearn. And I just think that they'll go after the Pittsburgh. The offensive line isn't good. Ben can't move, and their receivers really aren't very good. They have Claypool and a bunch of other, and Johnson, but everyone else kind of just is there. I know Freiermuth has caught a couple of touchdown passes in recent weeks, but their offense is pretty pedestrian based on the numbers. They're like the last third of the league in scoring, whereas I think Baltimore is better. I think they're in the top 10 or top 15 in scoring. So I think it's a good spread. It's only 4. Win by a touchdown or whatever. I don't think that Pittsburgh if they lose this game, they're done. Their season's over. And I just don't see them being able to turn things around. I don't know what they need. Today Roethlisberger comes out with a report saying he's going to be done at the end of the season. He's going to quit because he knows the team's not going to bring him back. and they have nobody else. I mean, who are they going to go for with Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins? How's that going to work out? But no, I just felt like it was a good line. It's not like they're favored by like 8 or 9, and I just don't think Pittsburgh shows up. So that's why we took Baltimore.
And you're
Yeah,
I
I actually bet him at 4.5.
Go to 101soundboards.com to access the sound. If you already came from there. Go to 101 Sound.
Is he gonna make a funny sound before I go?
Never mind. I was trying to do
All right. So just jumping on kind of what Dan was saying. Looking at the stats here. Baltimore's the 4th ranked offense in the NFL right now, averaging about 393.5 yards a game. Passing's middle of the road. Jackson's got like 12 interceptions on the year, but they are the number 2 running attack. They're playing Pittsburgh's rushing defense is currently 28th in the NFL. They're giving up 133 yards a game. I expect them to give up much more than their average tomorrow, even though they are playing at Heinz Field. Passing defenses again in the middle of the road, but they're the 25th overall rated defense, giving up 367.5 yards a game. Last 2 weeks probably kind of added that a little bit to that, giving up 41 points a game. Shockingly, their offense is actually 22nd in the NFL. Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger's numbers. I guess he missed one game due to COVID. He still got 2,500 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But really, they're just, I don't know. I guess missing, what's his name's out. Juju Smith-Schuster's out. Johnson's been pretty good at wide receiver. And is Claypool back? Claypool healthy? And Najee Harris has been, he's a rookie. I would have thought he'd have a little bit better numbers. But they're actually the 28th ranked rush offense. I think he's awesome. That Harris is going to be really good if they can block for him. It's a division game, as Brian always used to say. It's a division game, so I think Pittsburgh is 1-2 in the division, and Baltimore is 1-1. Last 5 games, though, Baltimore is 3-2 as opposed to Pittsburgh 2-1. But those last 2 games have been really bad for Pittsburgh. So I look to see that. I mean, are they going to give up 41 points again? Maybe. Probably not. But are they going to play a little bit better? I think so. But I do think 4.5 isn't that big of a spread. It's a touchdown. You win by a touchdown. I don't think Baltimore should have any problem doing that this week, which is why I have not true. I had no problem betting them at 4.5, which is again that's what I bet them. And interesting little nugget. A game decided by 7 or less. Baltimore is 6-1 this year.
How can they be 1-1 in the division this late in the season? You have to.
They've been backloading a lot of division games. So it's kind of like makes it something to play for towards the end of the season.
You have to play every team in your division twice, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they can be 1-1 in the division.
Yeah,
but they are.
They are.
0-2 in the division.
Like here, let me tell you Baltimore's schedule the rest of the year.
Well, they have
they play Baltimore the same team every day of the week until the rest of the season.
So here we go. So ready? Division games coming up for the Steelers. I'm sorry, Baltimore. They play the Steelers tomorrow. They play the Rams next week. Then they have a non-conference against the Packers. Then they play the Bengals on the 26th of December. Non-conference Rams on January 2nd. And then they play the Steelers to end the season. So they're trying to like backload it to make it a little bit more.
That is a really boring story.
Right there, buddy.
Yeah, baseball does the same thing.
Pittsburgh not quite as much.
My hormones are just crazy right now.
Pittsburgh only has 2 division games after this one, so.
So let's have Dalen's take on this obviously crappy pick from the Sofa Kings. Dalen, what you got?
He's muted.
Yeah, your
You're muted.
microphone is off. You're muted.
Yeah, turn your sound on,
Oh,
Dalen.
I'm sorry. Hold on. You can hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you now.
All right, my mouse was over it. You guys really didn't pick a game in this one. There's a lot of easier games, but admittedly not tuning in because nobody told me you guys had a show going. So in trying to understand what you guys are doing, I hear you, but you know what? I kind of think that Pittsburgh's. I get it. Everything defensively wise swings to Baltimore, but I think Pittsburgh, as Dan alluded to, I think their season is on the line this game. And when I go with that, and I go with they're playing at home, and I think they'll get a boost from Watt back. I think Watt will have a big game. I think they have a chance, and I get what Ryan's saying. It's only a touchdown. I mean, it's a touchdown game. I see that. Lamar Jackson, to me, I was just looking up something too. Lamar Jackson has struggled against Pittsburgh when they played. They somehow have found a way to bottle him up and to contain him. So he's thrown a lot of interceptions. He's thrown 5 interceptions versus 3 touchdowns against Pittsburgh. I think they had that. I get that they have a few players out in Pittsburgh, but I really think that they have a shot in this game. I think that I'm not convinced that the Ravens' running game is going to be enough. But we'll see. I think it'll be an interesting game. It's a tough game, but I kind of, in my mind, went into the week, I was kind of looking at Pittsburgh. And that's kind of my upset there. I think that I know the Ravens are, but I kind of like Pittsburgh Steelers. The past recent performance of defense. I think Tomlinson. I think they have a plan for him when they play him, and then he struggles against them. That's just my.
So the wild card. The wild card looks like Pittsburgh's not really in the wild card right now. So this is just what do we call it? Because it looks like, I mean, Bengals, Bills, and Chargers are still wild card teams. Steelers they're down there behind Raiders, Broncos, Colts at 5-5. But this is, like Dalen was saying, this is Big Ben's last season, so.
I don't think it's an outright win for Pittsburgh. Let me just say that I think Pittsburgh has a chance to steal it, but I definitely think they'll cover. That's the whole thing with the bet. I think they'll cover. I think that I think it'll be a field goal, and that 4.5 is like a push to me for the touchdown. I don't see that as the touchdown to me. I think that Pittsburgh can. I think they can outright win the game, but I'm not ready to call it an outright. But I think they'll cover, and that's what it's all about.
That line
so.
opened
it's
out
gonna be tough. I think it's a more game.
They opened out at 3.5, so the money went on the Ravens to a 4.5. But Dalen's calling the bluff on that, saying they're not going to cover. So,
yeah, I think Vegas tease. I think they tease some people. I think they tease you with that 3.5 to get you to go 4 for the touchdown. And I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, it might, but. I think that Pittsburgh took the game to call. The team is that great, but when they play each other, yeah, I think Baltimore struggles against Pittsburgh, but I think it's no more than a touchdown. I think it's a field goal game, and in that regard, I like the cover.
And that's what this show is all about. It's about covering. It's not about just picking. It's not a pick 'em.
And apparently there's one team on here that's been covering better than the other one. Apparently, according to the records, I see. I don't know which one that is. I don't know if it's the two. I don't know if it's the two heads right here or the other guys. It's just I don't know.
It's not the guys in the hat.
Yeah, we
not
suck.
the guys
we
in
suck.
the hat.
No.
Yeah, no, it's called the Bob method. Bet
Damn it.
opposite Brian.
I dropped my phone in the toilet.
Yeah, so I'm not. I didn't rehearse my sound effects for the comeback about the covers. So let's just try like a random one to see if maybe maybe we could pull one off.
They're gonna beat you so bad you'll think you gave Chris Brown an STD.
Yeah. One thing I learned about sitting with Brian in the office, I never would take his picks.
Who are you?
Wow.
Who cares? I don't even know you.
All right, BKO.
Wow.
BKO, let's
about
have
right.
the Team O pick.
I think Dylan's starting to understand that one of the premises of the show is to make fun of me, so I think he's starting to
Yes.
get that.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
You're a
let me-
feminist, and I think that's adorable, but this is grown-up time, and I'm the man.
Let me tell you, Brian, there's an attorney in my office who looks, I think y'all look alike. I mean, a lot alike, which is scary because he asked me to see a picture of you because I told him that. And I'm like, I can't find a picture that would do you justice. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, the one that Ryan got looks like I'm trying to take a shit. My face looks like I'm trying to take a fucking shit. So at least you could have got a better picture of me.
The
He was
whole
looking at
idea.
home.
I have to,
Where's picture?
tell our
Where's
viewers
the picture
whole
that
idea-
Alex had of you?
The whole idea is to bet opposite Brian. I said bet against. It's bet opposite Brian. It's a Bob pick.
Yes.
That's the whole idea.
Mhm. It looks like I'm trying to take a shit.
You were standing in my office wearing
This one's
that.
better.
That's the one where you were in my office wearing your tie-dye sweatshirt.
So let me intro my brother to give this week's pick.
You're a bad man, and you made me cry.
Well, before I do my pick, I have to tell my brother to stop calling Dylan Dayland. Okay, yo, bro, it's Dylan. You keep calling him Dayland. Okay. On that note,
Parlez-vous français?
Oui, monsieur.
C'est long.
Et toi?
all right. On that note, we're gonna take the Dolphins -6. When it jumped, the line was at -4 and it jumped to -6. I usually don't like to take -6, but I guess it's because Mike Glennon's the starting quarterback.
It's minus.
for the
It's
Giants,
minus
yeah.
six. It's -6.5 now. So the money's running all over that game right now.
-6.5. That line does scare me a little bit because, like, I try to avoid the big spreads, but Mike Glennon, that's all I really have to say. He's terrible. I think that you should just bet against Mike Glennon, honestly. He's a god-awful quarterback. So that's part of my analysis is Mike Glennon is the quarterback for the Giants. I guess my other analysis has to do with the fact that the Dolphins have won 4 in a row. Tua's looked really good. I mean, I think the last 3 games he's thrown for over 80% completion percentage. They're getting Devontae Parker back on offense for wide receivers, so that gives Tua another weapon. They're playing in Miami. I know the Giants just beat the stinky Eagles, but come on, that's the stinky Eagles. Giants defense actually played pretty good against the Eagles. They had 4 picks. They got some pressure on Jalen Hurts with Leonard Williams. But I just think that the Giants, they're not a good football team. Mike Glennon's not a good quarterback. I think the Dolphins defense, they'll blitz a lot. Brian Flores likes to blitz a lot, and Mike Glennon is he hasn't started a game in a while. The Miami Dolphins offense is average, but they've been playing a lot better lately. Jalen Waddle's a
You bobbed it.
Yo, hey, bro. So it's official. I got bobbed. Ryan bobbed me. But anyway, I'm still going to stick to the pick, even though it's 6.5. It's a tough spread, but I just like the Dolphins. I think the Giants, they're a bad team. Mike Glennon's a terrible quarterback. And I just think that the Dolphins are going to win. And I like the way Tua's been playing. I like the way the defense is been playing lately. So I'll take the 6.5. And like I said before, me and my brother always talk about big spreads. I try to avoid them, but I understand why I went from 4 to 6.5 because they thought Daniel Jones was going to play. Now it's Mike Glennon. So it jumped from 4 to 6.5. But I don't care what Ryan Robinson does. He can kiss my ass. I'm still going to Dolphins.
Dylan, can you cover my analysis for this game for the Dolphins pick?
Yeah. I just think you went way too deep. Like, I don't even see this being close. Like, I don't care if Jones was quarterbacking, they're not going to beat Miami, and Miami's going to beat them by way more. You talking about an outright? This is an outright. On the road, dog, against the spread. Like, I don't see it. I don't see them covering. I did have a stat though, because I did bet this game. And I'm trying to find what I did to bet it. But I just think that on the road with Glennon as the quarterback, that's a key factor. Glennon, they're not going to. He's not going to be a factor in this game. And I think that even though the Giants did beat the Eagles, they're not going to get up for Miami, and this is going to be a letdown. I think it's a trap, or not a trap. I don't think it's a trap when you're not good. I just think it's going to be a letdown game. Remember, the Giants were coming in with mad motivation for the Eagles game this game because they still feel like the Eagles tanked that game with Washington and not let them win. So they had been talking about it. The coach had brought it up this week, like the past week, and I just thought that was something that they could rally around. This week, yeah, I think they shot their load last week against the Eagles, frankly. And I think going down to Miami, I just don't see it. Tua, I can't understand Miami. I mean, Tua, for a quarterback that's throwing to complete 80% of his passes, they're trying to ship him out of town. Like, I don't get that. He's not the prototypical type quarterback, but he's effective. And against the Giants, just think about it. Against the Eagles, if the Eagles had 3 turnovers, they would have won the game, right? I don't think Tua is going to turn the ball over 4 or 5 times against the Giants. That's the only reason why the Giants were in the game and won the game. And I don't see Miami doing that. Miami doesn't really have the big names that we tend to gravitate to at running back and wide receiver, but they seem to get it. Tua seems to get it done, and I just think that's just the thing. Brian, I said you went too deep. Here was my thing when I was looking it up. Miami's 5-1 as home favorites under their coach against the spread, and the Giants are 9-3 against the spread on the road as underdogs of the Joe, which sounds good, but I just think they don't have anything to play for until they play the Eagles again. But then that game will be in Philly, so I don't think that they'll be up for that. Again, like as somebody said earlier, I think divisional games are divisional games, right? So you kind of get up for them. I don't see them going down. I think that Miami is a trap, right? It's been nice weather up here, but it's nice in Miami, and I know they go down there before or the night before, but I could just see them not focusing on that game, really. So I with that regard, with Glennon, I can't see Glennon passing them to a victory. And with that being said, I can see Miami creeping up guys in the box to shut down Saquon Barkley, who's had a lot of touches in the last 2 weeks. So he may be back, but I don't think it's enough to take him over.
Good analysis. That's good analysis.
So am I fired? You're fired.
Fired, Scott.
You're fired.
No, I don't have.
think
I
it's
don't have
safe to
cool
drink
sound
from a
effects.
fire
Like you. I only have blue lights in the ceiling. I don't have sound effects.
Bye.
Hey, Dylan,
Yep.
you are now a member of Team O.
Whoa! Time out.
You're an honorary O'Hare.
Personal foul.
Can I throw a flag? Can I throw a flag?
Personal foul on the producer.
Whoa! I'm not hitching my wagon to that thing. What? It's cool.
Can't touch me.
It's cool. I'll watch from afar.
Can't touch me.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Team O with our guest picker, Dylan Bryant, taking the Finns at a -6.5. Trying to gain a game on the Sofa Kings with their losing pick of the Ravens at a -4.5. A first place team against a team that's basically out of the playoffs.
All right, well, turn it on. I'm very thirsty.
So there you have it. Dylan, man, come back next week. I appreciate you.
Yeah, come back, Dylan.
Dylan, don't forget about us.
I like it. I like
we'll
it.
rename the show the
Hey,
Dylan Bryant Show.
Nah, I think not. I think not.
Oh,
People
you
be
don't
looking
want
for me
to.
then.
You don't want to put
No,
your.
no.
You don't want to put your. What do you call it? Your. What do you call it when you have a?
My token list.
No, it's like your trademark or something, or your. Yeah.
Nah, you guys are good. I need to figure out what you're doing. I hear the picks. So I'm interested to actually. I guess I got a question for you guys. How do you come up with the games you pick?
Well, right now we're just betting opposite Brian. That's pretty much how we come up with the games.
Dan and I text each other. Like either I'll text him or he'll text. Mostly he'll text me because I always forget till Friday anyway.
Yeah,
Dan will text me some picks, and then I'll take a look at what he's giving me and see what ones I like. Like we actually had some other options this week.
Y'all settled on a tough game.
Yeah, but like we had that was the one that I liked the best was the Ravens, the Niners -3.5. I forget who they're playing. Like Cincy was another option, but like I thought they're just due for a clunker at some point. The Raiders, Darren Waller is going to be out, and Josh Jacobs is hurting. And then he was thinking, Dan was thinking the Patriots over the Bills on Monday night, but I don't know. That's too tough for me to call. I mean, I would probably bet that spread because I think it's going to be a super duper close game, but I don't want to give these two guys a chance to catch up to us. So I went with the blue one.
I see.
We went with the better pick.
Partly the competition. I get it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. There's a big line on the Cardinals Bears, and I want to bet it. It's 7.5, right? It's -7.5. And I'm like, if Kyler Murray doesn't play, right, and the Bears are at home, +7.5.
And Brian Murphy might be out. Is it Byron? Brian or Byron? I can't remember his name. I gotta look at it again.
Arizona.
Byron Murphy Jr. might be out. So that would hurt their. Not that Justin. Well, are they starting Justin Fields?
No, Dalton. And Foles is backing up.
I mean, Chicago.
Are you crazy?
I kind of paused. Chicago hasn't covered in like about 5 or 6 games. They just haven't covered. They've been close. They just haven't covered, and it's hard to go at. And the fact that it's a game time decision with the quarterback is kind of iffy. But I'm saying if he doesn't play, Chicago's in play. That's 7.5 that's a big number. That's a big number.
You convinced me to gamble that one. I'm gonna take that one.
No, because it's in Chicago, right? Like it's in Chicago, right? And I'm thinking you got an Arizona team coming to the Midwest. Although that's only an hour difference, I think, in time. I don't think Arizona's on 3 hours. I think it's 2. So I do pay attention
they don't change
to that.
their clocks.
But it's also it's a 1 o'clock game though, and I pay attention to that part of it. Right? It's early. They won't adjust. I don't know. I don't really know what the West Coast teams do anymore. I know there were teams they would come in early Friday, right, to get 2 days in before the Sunday game. But because they're in the Midwest, they may only come in the night before and may try not to worry about that. But I think that's going to be a tough. I kind of like Chicago in Chicago. I think it's decent weather, so I don't think weather is a factor there in this game, like being cold or whatever the case might be, with Arizona going outside to play. But Chicago not covering is really, really kind of hard, and they're at home. They suck against the spread. I mean, they're 0-3. But again, Kyler Murray may not play, and That's that would be a game time call, right? That would be I'd be right up on the early pregame shows trying to see, if he's going to actually go, right? And then, like you say, Ryan, I mean, I don't have to bet the house, right? But you bet just enough, you'll be all right. So that was kind of interesting to me. But yeah, no,
But you'll know an hour and a half before the game.
I like your analysis. You guys went a little deeper than what dart at the board, and this is what you got. You actually put some research in this. You actually put some thought into this. I kind of all right. I kind of take it more seriously now. I am like, yeah, if I got to bet, you can't lead people down the wrong path. you got to win at some point.
So,
the normal format.
Dylan, what's your top pick for tomorrow or Monday?
I don't know. I struggle. I don't know if necessarily have a top pick, but I actually think the Eagles are going to cover big. I don't think the game is going to be close. But that really wasn't my pick. if I had to pick and go out on a limb, I kind of
gun to your head. Who you picking tomorrow or Monday?
See, I have the 49ers over Seattle. I have the spread is 3.5, minus 3.5 San Francisco. I like San Francisco all the way. I think it'd be upset at home. And again, on the road, I think they're going to beat the Seahawks.
Without Debo, baby.
But
yeah, without Debo Samuel.
They've won before without him.
No, Dylan, that's a minus 3 right now. So
him.
you even getting a minus 3 there.
Yeah, I see it. I do think you want to talk about numbers. The Rams minus 13. I think they're going to kill the Jaguars. I think that it's going to not even be close. And I see it as a big number. I usually look at those numbers and look at Vegas teasing me with it. So I might have to look into some more individual plays with that one. But yeah, I just like San Francisco. I don't know if that's going to be it, but if I had to pick one game, I think that San Francisco and Garoppolo. I think on the ground, I think they can run. I don't think Seattle can stop the run. And I think Garoppolo will have enough to stay. I also don't think that Russell Wilson is back. I don't think that he's fully healthy, honestly. So, we'll see. We'll see.
He
actually,
has
the slate
not had a
this
good
week
game
to me
since he came back.
great.
He sucked since he came back from his finger surgery.
Yeah, I think that the hand. I think his finger is a bit than they let on, but this week's games are really tough. I don't really like a lot of them, to be honest with you. I think a lot of them are dogs, but so it didn't surprise. Like your two game picks were probably pretty good. And Ryan, as I go back and look over the list, that game, I think that has more of a chance to win than a lot of other ones. So again, I think when I talk about a field goal game, to me that's like a toss up, right? Like it could go away. So I do have a shot definitely with Baltimore. But when I factor in the road, I think that Tomlinson has a way of rallying his teams kind of late in the season. I think, as a coach, I think his players like to play for him. And I don't think they like to disappoint him. But I think they will try to go balls out tomorrow. And I think Watt is a guy that they rally behind. And I think that might be enough to give them the outright win. That's why I kind of was leaning outright on it. But I definitely would take the points. Definitely taking the points.
Well, and going back to Seattle, Pete Carroll, he's getting up in years. He won't go for it on fourth down. So, he's punt, and then you lose. Especially with Russell Dickinson with his wounded finger, right? So
Yeah,
I,
that guy.
I
That's a
would.
good point.
Yeah, him too.
Yeah, I between Pete Carroll and Russell Dickinson, I'm taking the opponent all day.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think the game of the week is actually the Chargers and the Bengals.
I
At
took the
minus
Chargers.
3.5. Cincinnati
The
minus
Bengals.
3.5. Huh?
I took the Bengals. I took the Bengals.
They're home. That's a field goal. See, that's another game where I got a West Coast team coming to the East at 1:00. Well, man, you guys are on it. You guys are putting your money behind you. You're putting your money where your mouth is, aren't you?
That's right.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
It's the Ravens too.
That's how we
Look
do
at you
it.
spending that. Look at you spending that foundation money. That's still bar mitzvah money. I'm sorry, you cheap bastard. That's still bar mitzvah money.
Oh, that's gone.
It's a shot money. What is this loan shark? This little Jewish loan shark guy.
That's how they can
That's
have.
great.
That's how they can have Fleetwood Mac play at all these bar mitzvahs.
You were mad. Well, they're not doing much else these days.
Well, I hear ABBA is making a comeback too, so that you can hook them. up.
Holograms.
You guys got any parlays?
Well, let's
Yeah,
have
I do.
Dalen. Let's have a parlay from Dalen. You got San Fran and who else?
For picks.
No, parlay.
I got San Fran.
Let's have a parlay.
You was asking, my brother's asking you want if you do a parlay. We always do a parlay, like 3 picks.
Oh, I don't really have 3 picks. I mean, I didn't really look at it to have 3 picks. I mean, let me hear yours. I'll go. I'll go last.
All right, he'll tell you whether your parlay
I'll
is.
do mine.
is
Mine's
a win.
easy. Mine's easy. I'm doing the spread. I'm doing Dan and Ryan's pick. I'm doing the Ravens. I'm doing the Dolphins, and I'm doing the Vikings. I think the Vikings are -7 against the Lions.
Your dreaded Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going with Kirk Cousins, man. I'm going with Captain Kirk.
Captain
Fuck
Kirk
that,
strikes again.
But so I put $10. It pays out, I think, like $45. So that's my parlay.
I
And
did
you're-
a 7.
And you're doing a spread at 7.5 Vikings.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
Detroit?
All
Really?
games are spread.
I did a 7 just for shits and giggles. I did a 7-game parlay, all with the spread. Bucks -10.5, Bears +7, Giants +6.5, Eagles -5.5, Rams -13, Ravens -4.5, Niners -3. I put $5 down. It would pay almost $500.
Wow.
Damn.
I need to get in on this action. I don't play any of those. Who do you play? Who do you bet with?
Well,
I can only bet
off of
$100.
Fox Bet, I'm still betting off my original free $20 or $25.
Yeah.
I mean, I hit a 6-game parlay earlier in the year, and I won $78 on that. And I have DraftKings as well, but
Okay.
I use that one for most of my individual games. I use the Fox Bet for my parlays.
I for some reason have been blocked from every sports book except BetMGM is the only one that will give me an account. So
Until
You
now,
got to
until they watch the show.
Pay your bets, though, Brian. Why would they block you, man?
they don't recognize my identity. They can't authenticate my
He's
identity.
shady as fuck.
That's right. He is.
Yeah. I use DraftKings, FanDuel, Fox Bet, all of them. But I bet the Ravens. I put the money line on the Patriots this week. I bet the spread on the Bengals, and my parlay is the Bengals -3, 49ers -3, and the Patriots +123. $5 plays out $39.40.
Oh, Brian wins. Ryan can pay for if we get a new. We can get a whole new production shop, room. We can get a whole new studio. Hope Ryan wins. That's a lot of money.
What are your thoughts on these parlays?
I like them. I like them. I don't love the lines this week. I don't love the games this week, but I do like I do like some spreads. So you guys, I think you guys are on it. I think I've been hesitant to do it. Like, so full disclosure, before you guys met me, I used to work at the post office as a casual, and every Sunday when guys used to bet, this was before all this stuff, you had to stand at a pay phone, and guys would be calling the bookies, placing bets. And I got hooked. I started placing bets, and you win. If you win, you're up 300. I'm down 2. I'm up 5. I'm down 6. I'm up 1,000. I'm down 2,000. And it took me a long time to get out of that rat hole. And once I did, I was like, I ain't doing it no more. But that was a long. I didn't have any kind of real money like that. But now, obviously, it's a lot easier. I'm a little wiser now. I get it. So I'm interested in it. I did have that little run with some guys. I would tell guys picks, and they would win, and I would just say congratulations. But I never really, whatever. Like I did really good on the NCAA basketball pools a lot. Like I would really do good. And that was enough to finance me staying there for a good 6-7 months, if playing in a bunch of them. So a lot of brackets, a lot of different ones, a little different things. But I like to play. You guys virtual where the girl, she's like, I got a 9, I got a spider thing going. Ryan, you went out there 6, 7. All right, go big or go home.
But BKO, the sports betting guru, he just wouldn't pay the bookie, and then the bookie had to pull a knife on him.
Joey Papers, that's right.
Yeah, so he that was his game. If he didn't win, he just wouldn't pay.
Well, let me ask you this: do you guys ever go to the sports? You go to the sports book?
No, I've seen it. I've been to the one at Valley Forge before. They had almost just opened it before COVID hit. So I haven't been to the casino since COVID. But they got a nice. It's a small little one in there. It's a Valley Forge. It's a FanDuel one though. So by the way, they're putting in across from Fergie's. You know what they're putting in? Barstool.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be a Barstool location, so you can go there and gamble and stuff. So I read that last week. Was it last week that I wasn't on the show because I was away for Thanksgiving? Is that what it was? Yeah, I was gonna bring it up, but I was gonna mention to you guys. But yeah, right across from Fergie's Pub, they're gonna be putting in their spot.
So
you don't have a sports deal, and you don't have like FanDuel account or DraftKings account. You don't gamble, like you don't have an account with any of them. Really?
No.
Wow. I thought you would have been a heavy.
It just really, yeah. And really, the only reason why, honestly, is because I just don't really remember to do it. To be honest with you, I see when I want to bet, I'm like, if I really want to place a bet, I'll have Warren put it for me. Warren does all that. I just tell Warren to bet for me. So, but yeah, I'm going to set it up. It's interesting. Like I said, I realize what you can do. You don't have to do a lot of it. Last year, I bet a lot of MMA fights last year, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just learning MMA. I don't really understand how they do the scoring and all that stuff. But I was like picking some upsets. Like it was just like, I don't think that guy's gonna, all the hype around somebody. I'm like, I don't see it. And then I ended up winning a couple of them. So it's cool.
It's so easy now. Like when you want to withdraw your money, it's there the next day. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We live in a great country, man. We live in a fucking great country, man.
So, Dylan, next week when you come back, are you going to be on the Team O or the Sofa Kings?
Well, you guys have already established y'all seasons already. No, I'll just maybe pick a game. I asked Brian because I thought y'all picked a bunch of games, so I thought y'all may have picked like a 6-pack or something, like a college game or something like that. So I was interested because I was, like, oh, okay, there's bowl season coming, so I didn't know, but it's cool. I'm more interested. I got a big, heavy bet on the Eagles. I bet the wins and losses. I bet 7 was my line number. So the Eagles. I didn't think they were going to do as good as they are doing. I thought they were only about 4 or 5 games max. But the way the schedule's set up, I almost don't think that's possible. Right? But we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to lose, but I just thought the number at the time I bet it this summer was like 9. I can't even see them getting past 5. So I just thought the line was a good one, and I took it. But it's cool. I mean, that's one bet I don't care. You don't mind if I don't cash it, I guess. Well, no, I take that back. I wouldn't mind if they won a playoff game and they went and they had a run. I do mind it if they just win one game over and they just lose everything. That doesn't suck. Oh no, I don't like that one. But I think you guys are doing good. We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
All right, go.
you guys got 2 games to make up. That's going to kind of. You guys got to. You got to bet more. You got to have to bet more than one game if you want to catch them because you're going to run out of games.
It's only one a week.
Go Birds. Dylan, you got to be here next week. We'll see you next week, brother.
I appreciate you guys inviting me.
All right.
Hey, Dylan, thanks for coming on, Dylan.
Good
Yeah,
luck,
thanks.
fellas.
Yep.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Hey, good luck,
Next week.
guys.
All right, good luck, everybody.
All right, good luck.